Alright, what's going on everybody? McCue here, back with another running video. Today I am out on the trails doing a 6-miler over at Umstead State Park. Main reason I'm going out, I'm taking the DJI OSMO Pocket with me, and I'm looking into some of the pro features, aka how manual the DJI OSMO Pocket really is. This is an aspect I didn't really talk about in my last video, and it has some kind of correcting features, I'd say, from my last video, in a way that it can benefit me a lot more when I'm running in general, whether it's on the trail, out on the roads, different times of the day, closer to that kind of high noon where my highlights look like they're a little bit more blown out, but I'll leave that to a little bit more explaining out on the trail. Welcome back, we're headed out. See you in a minute. All right, what's going on everybody? I'm out here at Umstead State Park, out for about a 6-miler, gonna get going. Today I want to talk about exposure controls on the DJI OSMO Pocket, in the reference of some options in pro mode and going into manual mode and picking your shutter speeds, and also the Cine Like D, which I am shooting now, which I did not shoot the last video in. Hopefully it's a bit of a lower contrast, the whites aren't so white and the blacks aren't so black. Compresses and gives a little bit more data, and hopefully when it means I'm running, I won't be overexposing things without knowing it. We'll see. We'll be comparing Cine Like D with the normal color of DJI. So yeah, here it goes. I'm gonna get into some running and I'll pick it back up in a minute. I also just realized that this is my first time out at Umstead with the DJI OSMO Pocket. So we'll have to take a look at how steady it is on these rooty trails. All right, not too much of an update. I'm maybe like half-mile in, just kind of cruising. Yeah, let's take a look at some trail footage. Okay, so one thing I did want to talk about with exposure is the pro manual mode. If you go scroll up to settings, scroll over to pro, tap it, go back to viewfinder, top left, it's going to give you like a quick option for the pro options. Within there, in the bottom left, you can kind of adjust your exposure in a relatively manual mode. Your two options are shutter speed and ISO. ISO is like synthetic added in light, which is kind of like a last resort or to even out other settings. And the other option is shutter speed. One thing to know about shutter speed is, like, if you're shooting video, right now I'm shooting 60 frames per second, so I want my shutter speed to be 1/120 to keep that double ratio. It's not currently that because I had to kind of adjust for the exposure. And then I kept my ISO really low because it's already pretty bright out. But that's kind of one thing that I wasn't really aware of when I first went out for a run with this, started shooting. Number two, Cine Like D. It's a picture profile created by DJI that essentially is low contrast to assist in saving more data, so I can go back in and color grade without getting blown out highlights and completely black shadows. It's the same as like a S-Log or something on Sony. So if you're familiar with picture profiles, that's another option. This is now in Cine Like picture profile. Hopefully it saves the day. Alright, so this is more of just a check-in. 2.57 miles in, going pretty slow. Going up and down on these trails. Yeah, just kind of trying to get back into it, to be honest. I've had probably like 2 weeks where I ran well during the week, but haven't really stuck to it on the weekends, or I've just had stuff to do on the weekends. That's okay. I'm not really signed up for anything, so maybe I just need to sign up for something, huh? Alright, I'm gonna bot back in, show you a couple more trails. Chances are I'll be getting to the car next time you see me, and head back to look at this footage to let you know if the Cine Like D is worthwhile. Is it a good like log profile? Is it a log profile? It could just be something with low contrast. We'll find out. I'm gonna keep running. See you on a little bit. All right guys, welcome back. I had some fun out there on the trail, but I am back in my office now to recap the run and then tell you a little bit more about this camera. So my run, 6 miles, really chill, average heart rate about 158. I gained about 640 feet and my cadence was pretty smooth around 150. Honestly, that's pretty normal for me out on the trail. Okay, the DJI OSMO Pocket and its pro features. So one thing I was going through today, obviously, that you saw was the Cine like D picture profile and the exposure variations that you have, being at shutter speed and ISO. But the two other features that are also in the pro menu, you have the white balance, which you can set to auto, which is generally what I do because the screen is so small that I've struggled to really see. I mean, you can tell when it's like very blue or very warm, but it's something that's pretty hard to tell when you're outside and the sun's glaring on the little screen. I set it to auto. However, it is something that if you had your phone plugged in, you could totally go to the Kelvin and really get your white balance just right. And then it also has like a built-in microphone volume level, which is pretty cool. It has a low, medium, high, or an auto. I've kept it high so far, honestly, because a lot of the times I just want to make sure I'm getting a decent audio, whether that includes background audio. I'd rather get it and try to work that stuff out than not have good audio in general. Okay, so that is gonna wrap up my video for today. Glad you joined me on the trail. Glad you joined me for a little bit more on the DJI OSMO Pocket. I promise you every video will not be about this. Actually, I just hit, I think about 220 miles in my Brooks launch, so I'm thinking about doing a shoe review on them. I recently did one on the Brooks Glycerin. I did almost 600 miles in those, but I think 200 miles is a pretty good milestone. Pun intended. So I will be looking to do a review on those shoes because I think they're a really great mid-distance shoe that didn't break the bank. So as always, ciao for now. Please feel free to like, comment, or subscribe, and I'll see you some other time. Peace, guys.